Hello, I got one of these Tech Sumos a while ago. I've been seeing these on YouTube for quite a while now. They've been around for a few years, I think, and never really had much interest in planes until the last few months, but now I'm trying quite a few of them. So I thought I'd give this a try. It was only like $35 or something like that. It's less than $40 anyway, I'm pretty sure. And you get that stuff there. So you need servos and a motor and an ESC basically, and a receiver of course to finish it off. So this is now my fourth plane I think, and I gotta say this easily became my favorite straight away when I started flying it. On a calm day at least. I flew it today. I thought I might try and get some onboard footage, but it was really difficult to fly, and I noticed here it says the calmer the wind, the better, and that is definitely true. But when it is calm, boy, it's really fun to fly. You can go slow, you can go fast, you can glide even quite a bit, I found. So let's just have a look at it. I don't really have a whole lot of experience to share with this yet, but I'll just show you a couple of the things that I changed from what was in the kit. So you have to glue the two halves of it together, and I did that using Gorilla Glue, and the rest of the glue joints, I also glued these on with Gorilla Glue as well at the end. And Gorilla Glue is really nice. It makes a really nice strong and light join, I think. It's a bit of a bummer that it takes so long to dry, but I think the result is worth it. For these, I found that you can use hot glue reasonably well on this too. Just don't make it super hot. And I used that hot glue just to tack these on while the Gorilla Glue was drying. So it looks like there's lots of hot glue along there, but it's just a little bit there, and a little bit in the middle, and a little bit at the back. And I also did the same for this on the motor. I just tacked it on while it was drying with hot glue, and then put some more hot glue around the motor, because it came stuck together as one piece, but it was only stuck together with CA glue, which I don't know, it sort of made a little bit of a creaking sound when I moved it like that, so it didn't seem to be very solid. The motor is a Sunny Sky 2208 2600 kV, which is twice the kV that they call for, but it's a little bit smaller prop too, I think. Yeah, the prop is a 6045 gem fan prop. I'm using a 30 amp ESC that I had out of my old White Sheep quadcopter, and in here there's a IA6B FlySky receiver, and actually nothing else in there at the moment. I had the ESC inside, but I think it's getting too hot or something, because one time when I was flying the motor stopped spinning and it was just sort of twitching around like that. But fortunately, unlike a quadcopter, you can actually land the plane, so I managed to land it without any damage, which is a first. What else have we got in here? Battery and that thingy there. So one thing that I changed immediately when I saw the way that was laid out, the way you're supposed to do this is put you can see in the photo there, that's the bottom, and they've got those cutouts for the battery and the receiver bay, or whatever that you call that. They're on the bottom, which seems really bizarre. Why couldn't they put them on the top? Is the first thing I thought. So the first thing I did once I got the two halves stuck together is I just cut these sections out. So this would have originally been facing up, and I just stuck them in at the bottom so that the cavity would be on the top. And I had to shave away a little bit of it too, because the top is quite curved and the bottom is quite flat, so I ended up with a curved bump on the inside of the cavity, so I just cut it down a little bit. But I really like having the bottom completely flat, because that means that it's very easy to put it down like that, and you're not going to damage anything on the bottom of it, and the bottom is nice and flat, so you have a very easy surface to work on, and everything is accessible from the top, except for at the moment I have the run cam stuck on the bottom, so that's the only thing I have on the bottom at the moment. But I really like it that way. So this is the first plane I've had that is EPP, and I really like EPP too. It's quite easy to work with. You can make a cut in it with a craft knife or a box cutter or whatever you call it, as you have to do in a few places like here. There's no pre-cut line for your servo wires, so you have to cut this line yourself. But it's very easy. You just cut a line there with your box cutter, and it sort of closes up the gap. If you just cut it and leave it, it sort of almost becomes invisible. I don't have any to show you there, but the only reason you can see this line here at the moment is because I've sort of poked at it with my fingernail while I was pushing the wire in, so you can see that it's there. But if you don't do that, it sort of seals up quite nicely, like this one here. You can still see that, but it seals up pretty good. And it's quite solid even when you squeeze on it. So what I did to fix this on here is I just got a flathead screwdriver and just jammed it down through until it came out the other side. And then you can put a zip tie around stuff like that anywhere you like. You could probably do it with a little bit more finesse than I used here. It sort of shoved a big chunk of foam out the other side, but you can, if you use something sharper than a screwdriver, that probably wouldn't happen. So that's the way I did that as well. So it's very, very easy to work with, very light, very tough. They give you a little bit of this fiber tape that I've used along the edge. They don't quite give you enough to do what I wanted to do, which was one strip on top, one on bottom, and then one across the middle there, like I saw on one of Bruce Simpson's videos. He did that, so I thought I'd give that a try. But the last strip I had to do ordinary sellotape for, unfortunately. So what else is there to say? Servos are just regular cheapy servos. A little bit of hot glue to hold those on. A little bit of hot glue to hold these things on. And that's about it. So, oh, hold on, just a couple of other things I wanted to mention. The battery that I'm using here is, well, the one that I have on here at the moment is a 3S 1000 milliamp hour, which is right in the middle of the range that they recommended. There you can see battery 8 to 1200 3 cell. So I bought actually 3 of those, and I thought that would be the perfect one to have because it was the recommended one. But then on my first day when I was flying it, I found that this makes it too tail heavy. It's not really heavy enough. So then I started using these, which is the 3 cell 1.3 amp hour, and it's practically the same size that way, so it fits on there really nice. And I was a little bit annoyed that I now had 3 of these batteries that I probably wasn't going to use, at least for this plane, very much. But then when I started to when I decided to fly with this on there, all of a sudden the 1000 milliamp hour battery became the perfect battery for the weight. Now that there was a little bit, perfect battery for the CG, now that there was a little bit extra weight on the front from this camera. So I am actually using these quite a bit, which is nice. This tape here is cloth tape, or maybe some sort of a duct tape, I think. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's the one that has like a string inside it. And this was one of the few things that I found that would stick to this surface, because regular packing tape just wouldn't stick to it at all, and also regular sellotape wouldn't stick. This tape here kind of sticks all right. It's not super good. Oh yeah, actually it is pretty good. Yeah. So that sticks all right, and this duct tape kind of stuff sticks pretty well, but anything else, I just couldn't get it to stick. So these are my receiver antennas in here. They're at roughly 90 degrees. I was going to say something else too, but now I've forgotten what that was. Oh yeah, I really like the way the battery is super easy to change. So, alright, well that wasn't supposed to happen. But it's super easy to get the battery in and out compared to my other planes. So you just pop it in there like that, and away you go. So you can do it all with one hand in a few seconds. Well, you've got to plug that in. But compared to the other planes, that's really, really easy, because the other ones I have are the FT Spitfire and the Wing and the Mako, and they're a bit of a pain in the butt to get the battery off and on. But I really like this layout, so I'm going to be maybe getting some more wings like this in the future, I think. That's how things are going at this point. And this will probably be my first FPV experience on planes instead of the Mako, which I thought it would probably going to be. Anyway, let's have a look at some flying. So this was the third day actually of flights with this plane. The first couple of days it was overcast, and these CMOS cameras like the HD, Runcam HD and other ones, they seem to be completely useless on an overcast day. You just get black for the ground and white for the sky almost. And speaking of completely useless, I'm using the Runcam HD as my hat cam, and you may notice that the buzzing sound is not actually present right at the moment. I've discovered that when the battery is fully charged, it doesn't buzz very much. Actually, it doesn't buzz at all. And then gradually, as the battery wears down, it gets more buzzy. Anyway, you can see a nice big throttle punch like that was enough to get me, in this case, I think, about 30 seconds of gliding. But I found that on average, this day was very calm. And on average, about a 5-second full throttle burst would give me a minute, maybe even a minute and a half of gliding to get back to the same level as where the throttle burst started. I think we do another one here. No, not quite. I'm doing this commentary afterwards, of course. But yeah, I really like this plane. I think what I should have started with, if I had have known, is I would have started with this plane rather than the wing. Oh, there's the other throttle burst. There we go. It just goes up and up. I think it can go pretty much completely vertical with this relatively average kind of motor and prop I have on it. No problem at all. So this glide here I think was about 35, maybe 40 seconds or something. I'm not very good at gliding at the moment. I just sort of put the nose into the wind and hold the elevators up as much as I can without it sort of stopping completely. But pretty sure there's more technique to it than that if you want to do it properly. But I was quite pleased at how well it glided and how well I could keep it up without using the motor. And I actually found it kind of fun. When I lived in Japan, a lot of the older guys that were flying at the place where I used to fly, they were doing gliders. They did a lot of discus launch gliders. And at the time I thought, oh, gliders, boring. But I'm beginning to see the attraction. So who knows, I might have a glider to try in the near future. Yeah, but this day was very calm. So it was very easy to control, and that sort of contributed to my instant love affair with this plane. But I did find that on the windy day, which I'm not going to show you any footage of because it was another overcast day unfortunately, I found on the windy day it was a different story altogether. It was waggling and rolling left and right, and I just couldn't keep it still, at least not without a lot of effort. It was really difficult to just get it to go, just to hold still really. So I think this plane is going to be a calm weather plane, unfortunately, or fortunately I suppose. But who knows, maybe if you weighed it down a lot and gave it some more power and kept it flying faster more often, it could do pretty well on a windy day as well, I think. I just didn't really set it up for that. Very easy to catch too.
You get a couple of minutes of gliding out of that. Oh, now it's losing steam. It's got to be a minute. Was it a minute? Wow. This is so versatile. You can go super slow. You can glide. You can go pretty fast. Let's see a full throttle pass. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay, battery is done. Almost done. Wow, this is awesome. I love it. Oops. Definitely recommend these.
Here's some onboard footage. Unfortunately, this day was again overcast, so we're going to see some situations where you can't really see anything at all, which is unfortunate. But I'll just let this play out for the remainder of the video. This should give you an idea of what kind of footage results or quality of footage you can expect by just slinging the Runcam 2 underneath the bottom of the front of the Tech Sumo like this. There's a bit of jello at some points, or some throttle ranges. When the prop's spinning kind of slow, you can see the whole screen just sort of gets a bit wavy. But apart from that, it's not too bad, especially, of course, when you're gliding. It's very nice. So yeah, I thought that was a reasonably good result just for a quick attachment like that. Anyway, apologize for the parts of this video where it goes to basically just black and white, but I hope this was interesting to somebody, and thanks for watching.